Hey guys, it's John. Hey, today I'm going to do a little upgrade on this computer right here. This is a gaming rig that I picked up after Black Friday. It was marked down in Best Buy. Normally, I don't buy any computers in Best Buy that I want for a particular use, especially gaming or anything like that, because most of their stuff needs to be upgraded as soon as you buy it. And in this case, it was a display, AMD Ryzen 5 1600, 6 core, 12 cores threaded. It only has 8 gigs of DDR4 memory and a 4 gig video card. It's a RX 580 video card. What I'm going to do is I'm going to slap another 8 gigs into it, and I'm going to slap in a RX 580 8 gig video card, and because I want to play Battlefield 5, the new Battlefield game, and the minimums for that this works for, but it's just not. I mean, you can't really get good. You have to lower everything. I'm not one of those gamers that set the game up so much that I can't enjoy it. I'm just out to shoot other players and then just go on about my way or use aim bots or anything like that. So I like the full feel of the game. I like it to be maxed out as much as I can on graphics, and so that I can enjoy it. I'm also going to have another video up that's going to do some bench testing between a MacBook Pro, which is a 12 core, 24 core threaded Xeon 3.4 gigahertz processor, and a no, it's not 3.4, it's 2.7, I think it is. It has 16 or 32 gigs of DDR3 memory and dual AMD FirePro D700 video cards. And well, the reason why I'm doing this is, and between that machine and this machine, the reason I'm doing this is because I want to show people just how bad it is to run a game on a Mac that may seem like it's got a lot more power than a PC. But even though that Mac Pro is from 2013, it's still power-wise exceeds most PCs when it comes to video editing, Photoshop, and things like that. But when it comes to gaming, no, it just doesn't compare. And I'm going to show you the difference. The video that I'm going to do on that is going to be the Mac Pro running at default video settings, lowest video settings, and then ultra. And then a second comparison will be this machine running the 4 gig video card with 8 gigs of memory, those 3 settings, low, default, and ultra. And then after I do what I'm doing today, I'm going to slap in another 8 gigs of memory, and I'm going to replace the video card with a better video card and compare the bench test marks on that. So let's go ahead and dig into this thing. So I'm going to take off this cover. I've already got it unplugged. You don't, I mean, a lot of people talk about ESD straps and stuff like that. I don't use an ESD strap for something like this. All you have to do is just touch the edge of the case, any part that's metal, to discharge any static electricity that you might have on you. If you're in a room that's carpeted, and especially if it's in the wintertime, and you've got, especially if you run electric heat, most likely the humidity in the room is pretty low, and when that high, and when that happens, your chances of static electricity are a little higher. Or is it low? I think it's when the humidity is lower. But anyhow, I don't have any of that. I got wood floors. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to take this card out. So if you can see that white, that's the DDR4 8 gigs of memory that's in it now. It's 2400 2.4 gigahertz RAM. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to put this. Now I am doing something that a lot of people don't like to do, is I'm going to mix manufacturers, but I'm going to mix the manufacturers across the channels. I'm planning on getting another 16 gigs later, in which case I'll get 8 gigs of what's already in there, and then 8 gigs of this Hyper Fury DDR4 memory. So I'm going to put it in, so I don't know if you can see, there are white slots and black slots. So there's 2 white ones and 2 black ones. Those are the different channels. So I'm going to put this in the second. Right now the DDR4 that's in there right now is in slot, get that up there. Slot is in one slot or one channel, and I'm going to put this in the other channel. Let's see if that goes in there right. There we go. DDR4, the little notch is really close. I mean, I can show you this. So this is DDR2. Let me see if I got a, I know I got a DDR3 in here somewhere. Yeah, here we go. So this is DDR2. This is some PNY memory. And you can see the notch is almost in the middle. Well, let me see if I can get that closer. DDR4 is similar to that. It's really close to the middle, where DDR3, as you can see, you can obviously see that the notch is off. You can actually look at the motherboard and see where the, where the notch is and how the memory slides in. But this, like DDR3 or DDR2, is very close to the middle, and your best bet is to set the memory right over the slot and take a look at the notch, see if it matches. If it doesn't, then flip it over. So the memory's in. So the next thing we have is this video card. Now, this video card that's in here right now is a XFX 4 gig RX 580. It is it only requires one 8-port connector. But the new card that I have, I gotta find my, what do I do with my wire cutters? Okay, here we go. The new card that I have is a RX 580. It's an MSI. You know, a lot of people talk about how it doesn't matter if you mix and match manufacturers, but me personally, I like to, you got this one. I like to have my manufacturers match when it comes to video card and motherboard. It's just a preference for me. Most manufacturers usually test with their own stuff. This is an MSI motherboard, so I'm going to slap in an MSI card. And here's my new card right here. And actually, I thought it had 2 8-port slots. It doesn't. It only has 1, so we're good. And we're not going to be using HDMI. We're going to be using DisplayPort. HDMI is great for TV, DVD, Blu-ray if you want to watch movies. DisplayPort is better for gaming. So, and then you have a DVI port, which I won't be using DVI. So I want to just connect these two. Obviously this case is not toolless, so and usually if you feel under here, the slot usually has a little tab. Get this connector off. Get to it. There it is. Getting to this is not very easy. There it goes. So it pushes back, then the card can come out. Oh wait, I have to. Forgot this has a little bridge that supports the top of the card that you have to slide out. Then the card comes out. And there we go. Pretty nice card, not in bad shape. It's pretty much brand new. I'll be dropping it on eBay, see what I can get for it. Runs great. New card. This motherboard does, I don't know if you can see, it has an M.2 slot for a solid state drive. And I'll be later converting my OS for this over to an M.2. I have a 1 terabyte M.2 drive to slap in here. Right now it's got a couple hard drives down in here. Not a solid state drive. Sorry, you know, yeah, I know it's sacrilegious to run a gaming machine that doesn't have a solid state drive, but right now that's all I got. Make sure you push it in until that locks into place. Nothing else is in the way. Got your 8-pin port that goes here. Slide this up. Tighten that up. There we go. You know, this can bend this over. Now what we got to do is see what we get. Oh, would help if I give it some power. Plug in the power cord. Okay, so now it says F1 run setup. See what everything shows up. Memory. Kingston ADATA, so we got 8 gigs good. They're both, well, we don't want to run that profile. 16 gigs. 2400 megahertz is what we want, 2.4 gigahertz. This is a Ryzen 5 1600 6-core processor. That looks good. Go ahead and save it. Okay, that's Mac. We don't want Mac. We got to go back down to here because it rebooted. This is why I need to get a most likely it's downloaded updating drivers for the graphics, which really shouldn't need to be upgraded. It's the same exact card, just 8 more gigs of memory, or 4 more gigs. But it should come up configured the way. Got it. Yeah, it has changed. So, I hate it when it comes up. It's almost like when you have a large monitor, it's like they automatically think that you're blind, and it comes up at 200%. Well, it's not 200%, it's 100%. Let's see if, I bet you it's loading new drivers. Let's see. Let's see. Gigs. Voice manager. I probably got to reload. Oh, come on, man, really? VGA controller. Oh, that's strange. Look at that. It's reloading the drivers now. Okay, we're all clear. There's RX 580. Everything's clear. Let it do it itself. And then I'm going to run some bench testing of Battlefield 5 in low, default, and ultra with all this that I now have in here. I don't think I'm going to do it after I add the other 16 gigs of memory. 32 gigs is overkill for Windows, basically. So, yeah, that's it. That's all you got to do to install a video card. If you have problems with the driver in Windows, when you reinstall the new video card, go into the device, in the control panel, system, the device settings, uninstall the old driver. If you're running AMD, obviously running AMD, or if you're running what is it, GeForce, NVIDIA, you can download their graphics driver removal tool. It'll completely remove the old driver. You want to basically have it start from scratch in standard VGA, and then install the new driver. Windows 10 should not have a problem reloading its drivers automatically. I mean, I can look, because I still have the AMD Radeon settings. This should come up and tell me that I've got an updated, it should be updated with the new card. Should show that I've got 8 gigs of video memory instead of display. FreeSync not supported. Let's go. System. Radeon software. System 8. There you go. Memory size on the video. RX 580. 8 gigs. DDR5. System 1.366 core clock. Windows 10 64 bits. 16 gigs. Ryzen 5 1600. 6-core processor. Everything's up to date. I didn't have to do anything. I just let Windows take care of it for me. If you have any questions, leave any questions in the down below in the comments. Subscribe, critique. I don't have any problems with that. Talk to you later.